Hey, everyone out there. I'm back. We're here. In This is page 7 in the fourth part, which is actually the mini story. Got the first picture here because, well, so two reasons. The first, the main story came up shorter than I would have liked. Um, so I'm doing sort of this little fantasy story for sort of fill in and give make kind of give more value to the story. Um, but second, I wanted to do. Let's bring this over. Kind of in the back of my head, I sort of wanted to do this like family comes together at the end to celebrate the holidays thing, but it didn't really fit within the primary story. Um, Let me make sure this is okay. Edit, undo. And it seemed like it would have been. Um, there we go. Um, what ended up happening is what I'm doing with the fantasy sequence is I think I've done it in previous books where the divider the dividing lines between the panels was color coded to the character that it was focused on. I didn't do it. I don't do it in all the stories. I've done it in a few within the series, and I wanted to do it in this part here to indicate, to partially indicate that this is outside of reality, so to speak. To get back, I did want to do this little sort of epilogue, but it felt like it dragged out. Whoops, edit cut. I'm trying to talk here and not paying attention to what I'm doing. um, so I wanted to do this, but it didn't feel like it really fit. It seemed like it would have dragged out the denouement. It just would have been unrelated. Um, so what I did was take the concept and add this little add sort of the fictional fantasy portion that I'm in the middle of now. Oh, okay, merged out, and it hasn't unfolded yet, but I've got a neat little. I've kind of come up with a neat little short story to tack on to the holiday issue, so that instead of this being a 3-part story, it's it's now going to be a full 100 pages at least. Let's see. what do we do? Closed right. Okay, I do have the Chiefs. Let's see. I'm not sure if that is visible. Let's see. Down right. So what I've got. So the idea is, with Mini Santa here, oh joy. And I'm thinking this could end up being a problem. Oh no, okay. Anyway, Mini Santa here is actually David in the Santa costume for the live Santa portion. I'm gonna hit render. I think in a previous part I've mentioned that I basically used the Genesis 1 figure almost exclusively, but the Santa costume and the Santa character um, were created for the Genesis 3 figure, which wasn't a problem. I can just throw the Genesis 3 figure, scale it down, put it on the table. So, now everything is fit to David. The suit itself had fur on the cuffs and the collars, which didn't sit right when I transferred it onto David, the Genesis 1 figure. So while the figure representing the toy has fur on the hat, the collar, and the cuffs, which, oh shoot, no. Okay, I forgot to change the number, so we'll fix this 3, 4. So I've had to delete the fur for you for use on David, which isn't a problem. Um, so the idea is, I'm not sure this is going to work here. No. I sort of want to do a shot of him walking across the table. But there isn't a lot of room here. And sort of like with the fictional sequences with Jackson. Oh, let's see. I've kind of fattened up David's character more than Oh, shoot. Yeah, see, there it goes. Hmm. 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 I'm gonna have to figure this out. Okay. What I might have to do, can I fix it directly to the head? No. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, this is weird because this should maybe what I can do. You know what? I don't think I need that. Let's take the geo shell off. Hmm. Yeah, see, I'm having the same problem with. Having the same problem with the beard that I was having with the. I should have tested this. Let's see. I might be able to transfer utilities, but I think I've got too many items. Yeah, I've got too much stuff in this household to do it here. So what we're going to do is I've got this instance where I basically deforce the blankets, use deforce on the blankets to get them to drape. I'm going to set this back to frame 0. Okay, let's go to the center. What I want to do is, let's see, I should have characters, David Santa. What we're going to do is load him. Let's see if I can use transfer utility to fix the beard. So, edit, figure transfer utility from David to Santa Beard. Okay. Nope. Hmm. Okay. So, you know what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to cut here and figure this out, and I'll come back in and pick this up. Okay, that wasn't quite as bad as I thought it would be. Um, I don't know what was going on, but basically, I took what I did was take the beard. I guess it wasn't actually fit to David, even though it was attached to him. So basically, what I did was just right click, hit fit to, and then select none, which took it off him, and then clicked fit to and put it back onto him. For some reason, it wasn't attached, and doing it again fixed it. So thankfully, it didn't take forever to do, and it didn't ruin everything. But yeah, I sort of like with Jackson, I sort of fattened up his character, but it doesn't quite translate that well. Sort of the idea is a combination of the same thing with Jackson, where he just he sees his dad a little differently than reality, and two, because it's Santa Claus, he's supposed to be uh, jolly. So let's change this to 5 and render that one. Um, so yeah, that's the macro micro aspect of this is we'll have David as Santa Claus running around in Aiden's story, and that way I get sort of the epilogue and another story to put in this book. The plan was that this is going to be a single part story, so that when this is done, it'll be a 4-part book, 3 from the main story, and then the 4th part will be this second story. But it's like already in the back of my mind. I'm kind of bracing myself for the possibility that this will end up being 2 parts. Oh, you know what? We didn't. Let's open these both. Oh, okay. So let's see. This one is going to be scale. This one is 33. Uh, and it's going to go over here. I think that's good, right? I kind of want a wide shot of the table, but I don't exactly want it skewed. I want him at least somewhat in the center. And this one is 34. Here we go. You know what? Hold on a second. Edit, cut. I think what I'm going to do. Come on. There we go. I think what I'm going to do is set this back up and redo this picture. So, let's see. Let's select all the bones that we've got so far. We'll delete keys. Collapse all. And what I need is the other. So here's the other Santa. I need him just to line up. This. Good enough. So now let's put Santa back into the close folder. Okay. Let's have him looking right at you. And we'll set this back up. Yeah, this page has just become a disaster. Okay, close right. Brow. Let's come forward down. You know what? Let's go outer down too. And I think let's go preference show hidden. And I think let's go use. Because in the early days, I was using some of the some of these properties to try and change the face shape. Try and give them some individuality. Let's use this thing to zoom out. It's off. Okay. I might have to mess with the beard a little, so let's render that. And because Aiden is telling the story, I've put together a I color coded a text box to sort of indicate the shift between the omniscient narrator and Aiden as the narrator. Blech. Something I did in the fourth story babysitter, and I think once, maybe twice after that, I used the color coded boxes. this looks like. You. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a disaster all throughout. Delete, bring you in. So strangely enough, the only color I haven't used in this family is blue. Invert. So Aiden's box gets blue. Let's see, merge down. And save. Okay, so resetting this isn't going to kill anything. Head. I'm going to delete the keys. Let's grab him again. Let's see. Rotate this. Oh gosh, excuse me. Ugh. Hmm. Yeah, I think. Centered on. Actually, let's zoom in on him so I can rotate this. Oops. I need. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is rotate the whole character this way. There we go. Let's see. I have to bend you a little bit more. Oh, okay. So, in a way, I'm hoping this doesn't. I'm hoping this stays at one part. because I am looking at sort of a time issue. Let me go into perspective. This beard is a mess. Okay, I guess you can't see it there. So the idea is if it stays at one part, render that. Let me pull up the calendar here. If it stays at one part, sort of the rate I'm going, if I get to page 6, at the rate I'm going, this part should be done around here. And then sort of this weekend will end up being a mixture of putting the covers together and then putting the book together. So keeping fingers crossed, it'll go up on Patreon on the 6th, somewhere around the 6th, maybe the 7th. And if it stays up 2 weeks, that takes me to the beginning of Christmas week is when it goes up on Amazon, which puts sort of the Christmas episode just days before Christmas. If this mini story goes to 2 parts, then the progress gets pushed off for a week, and it won't hit Amazon until after Christmas, unless I only leave it on Patreon for 1 week. What do I want to do? How about skill? Yeah, okay. 33. So I've got a little poke through on the coat that didn't get taken care of with smoothing modifier, which I can fix easy enough without having to redo the whole part. So what I'm going to do is zoom in quite a bit here, grab the color picker, and then pick a red. And then I need selection, no, paint, how about pencil? There we go. Just kind of there. That should do it, right? Yeah. There we go. And we're back there. Okay. Let's bring you there. And I have to admit, the way I'm looking at this now, It's going to be more enjoyable working with him at this size than it was working with Liz and Michael at 6 inches. Oh, no. Because he's a little undersized. He's still a little small, but I think he's just big enough. Oops, I want to save. To be able to interact with the scenery. So now we're going to have him just kind of climbing down the. Okay. Climbing down the table leg. Let's delete the keys. And I guess. Okay. Let's see. I guess what I might have to do with Santa here is just avoid moving the head altogether. Maybe that's the key. Um, and the thing is, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with the feet. Oh, joy, he's not even centered on this thing. And the hand. I don't think that hand is going to be too visible. So, there we go. Bring it out. Let's see. Here we go. Down, no. Slightly upward. There we go. 37. Let's render that. The other thing with this is because Aiden is telling a story that happened a year ago. Whoops, hold on, I'm losing the mouse here. um, for the story part here, the fictional, the fantasy, whatever you want to call this, um, I've sort of gone back and grabbed the characters from, I think it was Shrimp of the House Grounded, which is the story that happened somewhere around that time frame. The idea is so that the characters are younger. Um, so you see, the characters here are younger, um, but let's see, scale, because I've sort of made some changes to the characters more recently. The characters here are kind of more of a hybrid between the characters back then and the characters I'm using now. So in Grounded, everybody was still wearing the same hairstyle, whereas here I've put the hairstyles that they're using now. And it's sort of the same thing with the house. Is kind of using the model and the furniture and the textures and everything from the same house I'm using in within the times, uh, sort of within their time frame in the today. One change I did end up making that you would have seen on the previous page. Let's see. Select invert and edit cut. Is I had to go back. I did have to go back and replace the pictures on Jackson's wall because all the pinup models were put there after. It would have been the summer between the fantasy and the reality. So you'll see. So if you look closely, you'll see the pictures of what's her name still on the wall. Oh, what am I doing? And I also took out. I don't know if it'll show up, but I did take out a few of the toys from Aiden's room while leaving the rest. Let's see. So if you're really paying attention and you're going back and forth and looking, you'll notice it's not quite the same. Which in my head, in the head canon, I'm justifying it as being since. Let's see, I need the code. Okay. Hmm. Let me see. Oh, you know what that is? Shoot. This might be. Hold on. Tools. Geometry editor. Oh, what is that? Oh, okay. It's not. Show all. Okay, it's not the coat, it's the pants. So, um, oh no. Just, okay, what is going on? No. This model is just a mess. Oh boy. Let's look at the code for a minute. Show all. Okay, no, I'm off here. What do I need left? Yeah, right. Not. Okay, there we go. Finally. I might as well take off. So that's the shot I want. careful so I don't show the stupid buttons. Yeah, you know what? I want him looking at the tree. Okay. Um, so it's again going back to the headcanon on that. It's that because this is Aiden's story and it's in his head, it doesn't have to be true to life. So, in his mind, he's mixing past and present. So it's like he's seeing the house as it is today, even though he's remembering the characters from a year ago and he's remembering the pictures, the odd details. It's sort of like, when you came back from Jackson's story and they're making fun of the details in his story. I'm going to save this, but I'm wondering. I'm going to try something. I'm going to experiment here. What do I want? Um, Sky. I don't think. I don't think this is going to make a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in. It's the color on the glass, which I think it's the texture and not so much what's going on outside. Weird size. Edit cut. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, so that's not going to matter. I'll close that. So we'll go select, shrink, invert, edit, cut. None. Okay. And one extra step here that I don't. Well, I've done it in previous books. I was talking about um, the color of the lines. So what I'm going to do is, yes. Okay. So I've got a background layer that's the blue color that I want. Um, it's not. It's a little bit darker version than what's in the word bubble because the word bubble was a little too bright when I used that color. And I'm still not convinced that this. See, I'm still not convinced this isn't too bright, but it's a lot better than what I was using. So this is basically going to be part of the mini story. As you see Mini Santa running around the house. So I saved that, right? Let's go save image, flatten, and export. Enter. Since there's no text, there's no real eyeballing of this one. Just there's a page. You see Santa waking up and climbing off the table. That is page 7. I'm kind of enjoying this one. I hope you are too. And I will see you next time, which may be, given this is page 7, it's possible I'll see you one more time in this book. If not, then I will see you in the next book, whatever it is.